demands from the coal, demand from the various charterers, the commodity players, the oil, and there's going to be a large requirement for financing, insurance, and all connected activities. So next few years is going to be a big golden era from a shipping point of view. Just not the asset point, but also the services which are going to become big. And again, which is linked, because Indian domestic economy is a service-oriented economy, and that's really we can capitalize to serve the needs of the rest of the world. Apart from shipping, maritime sector is typically shipping, shipyard, ports, container logistics. This is the whole constituency of maritime sector. It's the word is like IT. IT includes communication, hardware, software. So it's a more broader and a generic word which connotes the development and things between the sea and the land. In the shipbuilding side, one of the things that we have been examining in our firm is defense shipbuilding. There is a commercial shipbuilding. I mean, Mr. Govil will tell more about it going forward. There are big demand which has happened in last 5 years. More than 25,000 crore of order book Indian shipyards have got. More than 250 ships were ordered in Indian shipyards, and they are in different stages of completion and delivery. But apart from that, more than we've done some calculation, it shows that close to around 100,000 crores, 1 lakh crore worth of defense shipbuilding which need to be ordered in the next 7 to 8 years. And that's a very, very big area, especially looking at the sort of coastal security, and India is emerging as a regional power, if I don't even say as a superpower. At least for next 10 years, it's going to be a large regional power, stretching from Somalia, where the Piracy is there, to Indonesia, and that's we need to control our seas. And the Indian Navy has a huge requirement, and that cannot be just relied upon. I mean, we are trying to buy aircraft carrier from Russia, and it's so costly. It's much cheaper to do it in India, indigenize and develop it locally. So that's a defense shipbuilding is a big opportunity, and in fact L&T is getting into it. There are all the existing shipyards are examining it. Mr. Goel will talk more about it as we go forward. Again, few days back, somebody from Economic Times called us and they said, yeah, ship repair. I mean, how shipbuilding is fine, but what about ship repair? And is it really a good activity vis-a-vis shipbuilding? How does it look? So my answer to that was ship repair is not as much cyclical, or in fact it's less cyclical compared to shipbuilding, and that's again going to be a big activity. And of course, India has always been in the forefront of shipbreaking, which is the if you know in Alang, which is the world's biggest ship recycling. Now the word used is ship recycling because it has to be environmentally friendly. And India, as you know, is the world's second largest as far as the offshore boats are concerned. That's the area where India really specializes in. Apart from that, there are dredging, there are barges, there are a whole lot of activities. So it is possible that in the big shipbuilding, the big ships category, the world is there is a lot of excess capacity in Korea, Japan, as well as in China. But relating to the small crafts in the offshore supply segment, in the barging side, the towage side, the dredger side, which are local demand, the shipbuilding activity will also remain high. So defense and the local crafts and the local requirements will be probably the demand drivers as far as the various opportunities are concerned. This is also interestingly a lot of design houses which have sprung up. Keppel has a design house in India. There is a company Cybermarine which are also doing work in Singapore and in Mumbai. I understand there are other shipping consulting firms, technical side, which are also doing design for international companies. So these are again the services part of the knowledge part of the activities which are really becoming big and which are going to. We've also been talking of boat manufacturing as well as because again the naval requirement and the coastal requirements are huge, and the pleasure crafts as the Indian economy is progressing and becoming bigger. There is a requirement for people to buy boats, yachts, etc. And Mahindra has launched a brand Odyssey for catering to that kind of demand. So this is boat building is again expected to go really very big. If you go to Gateway of India in Mumbai, maybe more than 200 boats which are lined along, and these are used by different companies, and they sometimes you can charter the boats also. So these are the overall gamut as far as the shipbuilding, ship repair sector is concerned, which is again linked to the knowledge expertise. There is opportunities available on the services side. There is an opportunity available on the hardware side. Ports, I have already explained that there is a large commodity imports which are likely to take place. I mean, even if the exports don't really pick up, but in an economy, even if it's domestic focus, will require various commodities for import. Even on the container side, there is a possibility that we may have large imports for container goods, and that can really, we may export. There is by 2020 close to around the size of the IT industry could be around $200 billion. It's currently around 50 billion, of which 150 will be the software export. Now, even Mukesh Ambani, he mentioned that you can always look at software export. The way the Middle East exports oil, they do it out of pipelines, ships, etc. We do it out of wire. And the size of the industry can be as big as that. So we can annually get around $150 billion worth of revenue on account of exporting the software. And that really means that there is a lot of consumption power which is there in India. And if you look at automobile growth across various spectrums, the country and the economy may grow, and that means that imports going forward may become extremely important. We, as the economic growth, may come from the services and of course in the high-end manufacturing, but the imports may increase. So we need to design our port infrastructure keeping in view. We have seen many cases. Sometimes the export infrastructure needs to make it. We have to make it import-oriented and vice versa. So, but that's going to be a big opportunity. And concomitantly, more than the port infrastructure, it is the land and the industrial base around that which can really, if you develop really the cluster approach, the total value addition would be extremely large on the port side. Connect that with bunkering and dredging and a whole lot of other activities which go in the cluster. It could be an intra-cluster shipping also, which one can think of, which can really create the capacities in different places. For example, in Singapore, Singapore is a hub, and they get a lot of their containers from different Southeast Asian countries. And that's that. So in each of these regions, one can create a sort of a hub, and which really pulls in the whole economic benefit or the movement relating to the shipping and ports from the cluster. Mundra probably could be one of such gravitating force in the Kutch cluster that we are talking. Mumbai is already that gravitating force in the Mumbai cluster. Now, coming to the opportunities in the container and logistics space, that's again a very big area, which is very container trade is a little down. Last 1 year, there's been a global recession. People again ask us what kind of growth will be there, whether it will be import, export, will it be domestic, will it be whether we should be investing in the logistics, especially keeping in view that there is a downturn in the industry. Are we setting up more capacities than what is required? I feel we have to create an infrastructure which was probably required 10 to 15 years back. What we are only doing is trying to create the infrastructure for the past as far as container logistics side is concerned. There's so much of wastage which takes place in terms of the spillage, in terms of the wastages in the agri side and various other commodities. So we have to create an infrastructure which can minimize and increase the productivity. Logistics cost is maybe 10 to 15% of the total cost of the goods. And if we create that good infrastructure, that much saving we can have easily. So the infrastructure would actually come in, and that's an annualized saving I'm talking. So actually there's a need to create this infrastructure. But at the same time, industry is not very well organized, it's highly distributed. The road sector, the road transportation is really it's fragmented. Rail, there is over excess capacity. There are different kind of models which people are creating, whether it should be port and road linked, or whether it should be logistics and port should be connected, or they should be independent. There are all kinds of